चैतन्य नमस्ते। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna everyone. So we are continuing to read from the next paragraph from here, that anyone who wants to become freed from the material entanglement must surrender unto the Supreme Lord Krishna. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita. Unless one surrenders unto the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead, it is sure and certain that one will be bewildered, even if he happens to be a great mind. Only when great minds surrender unto the lotus feet of Vasudev and come to know fully that Vasudev is the cause of all causes, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 7.19, they can become Mahatmas, or the truly broad-minded. But such broad-minded Mahatmas are rarely seen. Only they, however, can understand that the Supreme Lord, the absolute personality of Godhead, is the primeval cause of all the creations. He is the ultimate truth, Param truth. Because all other truths are dependent on him, and because he is the source of everyone's knowledge, he is omniscient. There is no illusion for him as there is for the relative knower. He is Abhigya. Abhigya means he knows everything, and he knows about everything, and he is the knower of all the other living entities. So sometimes, as a individual living entity, we may know what is going on within us, inside us, what is going on in my mind, or what is happening in my stomach, what is happening in my head. Yes, we have some knowledge of it. Even then, we don't have full, complete knowledge of our own self also. Sometimes there are, see, so many cancer patients are there, so many heart attacks happen. If people were aware of what is going on inside the body, then obviously they would go and take treatment for it before it becomes extreme. But because people are not aware of it, that means what? That even the individual living entities, that means all of us, every living entity, all the jivatmas, they are knower of one body, and that also not fully. They are cognizant about themselves, but that also not completely. But the Supreme Lord, he is omniscient, means he is present everywhere. There is no illusion for him. He is never in some maya and illusion that no, this is like this and that is like that. It is never so for Krishna. And also, he is the knower of all the bodies, just like we are cognizant about our own body to an extent. But he, the Supreme Lord Krishna, is cognizant about all the bodies, every atom that is there. He is cognizant about all the atoms in the material, in the creations, and not only that, he's fully cognizant, not partially but fully. Some Mayavadi scholars argue that Srimad Bhagavatam was not compiled by Srila Vyasdev, and some suggest that the book is a modern creation written by someone named Vapodev. So there are some Mayavadi scholars who also argue that no, Srimad Bhagavatam was not compiled by Srila Vyasdev. It is a modern creation and it is written by someone named Vapodev. In order to refute this meaningless argument, Srila Sridhar Swami points out that many of the oldest Purans make reference to Srimad Bhagavatam. The first shlok or verse of Srimad Bhagavatam begins with the Gayatri mantra, and there is reference to this in the Matsya Puran, the oldest Puran. Many times we may have questioned that Srimad Bhagavatam is written so many years ago, then how come in the Purans, which is written way beyond that, there is a mention of this Bhagavatam? Because these are happening on spiritual realm. We may see it in particular dimensions, that okay, it is, these are two dimensional or this is one dimensional. But in the spiritual realm and all these yugas that are happening and all the acharyas who are there, they see through layers of various yugas. So therefore, with our limited intelligence, we will never be able to conceive how in the Matsya Puran, the first shlok of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is written much, much later, is already mentioned. That this verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam. In that Puran, it is said about the Bhagavatam. It is not mentioned. It is not that in the Srimad Bhagavatam the Gayatri mantra has been copied from Matsya Puran, but in the Matsya Puran it is mentioned that in Bhagavatam it is mentioned this verse. That is what is mentioned in the Matsya Puran. So there are in that Puran it is said about the Bhagavatam that in it there are many narrations and spiritual instructions, and that it begins with the Gayatri mantra, and that it contains the history of Vritrasura. It is also said that whoever makes a gift of this great work, that is Srimad Bhagavatam, on a full moon day, Bhadra Purnima, attains to the highest perfection of life and goes back to Godhead. There is also reference to Srimad Bhagavatam in other Purans, which even indicate that the work consists of 12 cantos and 18,000 shlokas. In the Padma Puran, there is also a reference to Srimad Bhagavatam during a conversation between Gautam Rishi and Maharaj Ambarish. The king was advised to read Srimad Bhagavatam regularly if he at all desired liberation from material bondage. Maharaj Ambarish, who is the epitome of or an example, or the highest example, who has achieved success by perfectly following all the 9 limbs of bhakti. All the acharyas or all the examples of devotees we see, they have perfected maybe one limb of bhakti, 2 limbs of bhakti, but Ambarish Maharaj is an example where he has perfected all the limbs of bhakti. There's a beautiful drama by RG Media, Sadhavo Hridayam Mayam. It's a beautiful drama and one must watch it. So then this part about Maharaj Ambarish will become clear how Maharaj Ambarish is so dear to the Lord, and because he was serving all the limbs of bhakti with all his senses all the time, not wasting even one moment, and therefore he was so dear. He's so dear to Lord Krishna, and because of that, how Durvasa Muni has to face a great uh, troublesome situation. So if somebody is interested, they can watch this drama on RG Media. In the Padma Puran, RG Media is Radha Gopinath media. So it is under, it is by the devotees of Radha Gopinath temple in ISKCON Chopati, if I'm not mistaken, Chopati or Juhu, Chopati mostly. Anyhow, so the king was advised to read Srimad Bhagavatam regularly if he at all desired liberation from material bondage. Under these circumstances, there is no doubt regarding the authority of Srimad Bhagavatam. For the past 500 years, since the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, many scholars have made elaborate commentaries upon Srimad Bhagavatam and have displayed unique scholarship. The serious student will do well to attempt to go through these commentaries in order to more happily relish the transcendental messages of the Bhagavatam. In his commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur specifically deals with original and pure sex psychology, Adi Rasa, devoid of all mundane inebriety. The entire material world turns due to the basic principle of sex life. In modern human civilization, sex is the central point of all activities. That means indulging, men and women indulging in this activity. That is the central point of all activities in this material world. Indeed, wherever we turn our face, we see that this is prominent in this material world. Thus, sex life is not unreal, but its true reality is experienced in the spiritual world. In the material world, it is just a perverted reflection of the original. The original is found in the absolute truth. This validates the fact that the absolute truth is personal, for the absolute truth cannot be impersonal and have a sense of pure sex life. The impersonal monist philosophy has given an indirect impetus to abominable mundane sex life because it overly stresses the impersonality of the ultimate truth. The result is that men who lack knowledge have accepted this perverted theory, philosophy, as all in all because they have no information of the actual spiritual form of this aspect. There is a distinction between this sex life in the diseased condition of material life and that in the spiritual existence. Srimad Bhagavatam gradually. I request everyone to please be on mute, otherwise it starts echoing here. So there is a distinction when somebody is in the diseased condition of this material life and when somebody is in the spiritual existence. But somebody who does not have knowledge, who is foolish, they will only understand the perverted reflection of this aspect. And then they will also start indulging that, oh, okay, in Srimad Bhagavatam this is mentioned, so let us also get involved in all these things. So that is called foolishness because they don't have proper knowledge and they don't have that intelligence. Srimad Bhagavatam gradually elevates the unbiased reader to the highest perfectional stage of transcendence, which is above the three kinds of material activities, namely the fruitive actions, speculative philosophy, and worship of functional deities indicated in the Vedas. Srimad Bhagavatam is the embodiment of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna and is therefore situated in a position superior to all the other Vedic literatures. Our acharyas, who are bona fide acharyas, they have made commentaries on this highest aspect, which is discussed in this paragraph, on this highest aspect. But because most of us are neophytes, therefore we should not try to jump and move out of Srimad Bhagavatam that is given to us by Srila Vyasadeva, that is given to us, the purports given to us by Srila Prabhupada, and we should not try to jump into all these commentaries because otherwise we will become sahajiyas, and that is the greatest offense. So therefore, great acharyas have commented for the pure devotees who are in pure consciousness and who will understand this aspect as it is, unlike us who are still in the perverted condition, who are still in the diseased condition. And for us, this topic itself is, oh, it is something unimaginable. So we should therefore not try to hop, skip, jump into all these aspects. We should try to understand this transcendental knowledge gradually. Therefore, various books have been given by Srila Prabhupada for us to understand the philosophy, so that by understanding the philosophy properly, we can engage in the devotional service. Through that devotional service, we get purified, our consciousness gets purified, our knowledge increases, and then gradually we will come to that point. But artificially, if we try to jump, then it is only going to ruin whatever we have done till now. So with that, we will pause here for today, and Krishna willing, we'll again continue reading tomorrow. So thank you very much for a very kind association. Vancha kalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha पतितनाम पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। श्री श्रीमद शीला जय पताका स्वामी गुरु महाराज की जय। जगत
जय
गुरु शील प्रभुपाद की जय। निताय
जय
प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि
हरि हरि बोल
हरि बोल।